If I told you that the massive inflationary expansion of the early cosmos has a direct physical relationship with how a rat's brain responds to anesthesia, you would probably stop listening to me. You'd assume I was about to pitch you a wild, pseudoscientific hypothesis about a fully conscious universe, and my colleagues would immediately step in to downgrade my certainty. During cosmic inflation, quantum fluctuations stretched across the universe, seeding sprawling galaxies. But standard physics has a classicalization problem. A quantum cloud of possibilities doesn't explain how it picks one definite reality. It refuses to snap into a sharp state. This gap represents the boundary where our best equations stop describing reality. To find what happens next, we have to look for the same structural pattern in unexpected places. We do not need a smoke-filled room of men in black suits covering up the truth about a conscious universe. The modern academic system handles the suppression automatically through interdisciplinary grant funding. Researchers are highly incentivized to study only what their specific department has the budget to measure. The result is a semantic quarantine. Cosmologists call it classicalization. Quantum researchers say state reduction. Anesthesiologists call it molecular target. They are looking at connected structural phenomena, but their vocabularies are completely isolated. Modern academic architecture functions as a filter. It allows for the study of the pieces, but effectively prevents any single researcher from validating the whole. Let's isolate the physics department. Here, researchers have developed objective collapse models. They treat the transition from a quantum cloud to a classical reality as a real physical event, rather than just an update in an observer's knowledge. Roger Penrose proposed a specific trigger for this event: gravitational self-energy. He argued that incompatible spacetime geometries force a quantum superposition to become unstable and collapse into a definite state. In 2000, Paola Zizzi applied this logic to the entire early universe. Her Big Wow theory suggests that near the end of inflation, the universe acted as a massive system of quantum registers, reaching a self-reduction threshold. This heat map shows the cosmic microwave background. To test if an objective collapse actually happened, cosmologists look for specific structural anomalies and distinct statistical signatures buried inside this leftover radiation. This is hard, highly measurable physics. Underground radiation experiments, like Xenon NT, actively constrain exactly how these collapses can occur. If the parameters don't survive the radiation tests, the model is thrown out. Physics has a viable, mathematically grounded mechanism for reality becoming definite, but it has absolutely no reason to label that physical collapse conscious. For that, we have to cross the campus. Inside the biology department, the ORC-OR theory takes the exact same physics and places it inside your brain. It suggests that biological evolution learned to orchestrate these gravitational quantum collapses inside our cells to create moments of consciousness. This diagram shows electronic energy migration inside a microtubule. This geometric lattice supports efficient energy transport across several nanometers, defying standard classical calculations. Furthermore, a 2024 study stabilized these microtubules in rats, significantly delaying anesthetic-induced unconsciousness, suggesting stability maintains a conscious state. We have to maintain strict boundaries on the evidence here. These experiments show that biological structures can support complex, non-classical energy transport, but the leap to a brain-wide quantum computer is still a massive one. Physics provides a mathematical trigger for reality to become definite. Biology demonstrates a cellular architecture that could potentially house that trigger. These two mechanisms remain theoretically compatible, but institutionally ignored. When you pull the data from both silos, you get the quiet collapse hypothesis. It proposes that an objective physical collapse carries a minimal proto-experiential aspect. This means the exact same symmetry-breaking physics that made the early universe definite is the raw physical material that biological evolution later harvested to construct human minds. This does not mean the Big Bang was a mind thinking in human sentences. It was proto-experience without memory or intention, a thoughtless flicker of definiteness. If this cross-disciplinary theory holds up to scrutiny, consciousness stops being treated as a magical byproduct of complex biology. It becomes a standard structural ingredient of physical reality. A theory is only scientific if it can outline exactly how it dies. The quiet collapse hypothesis has strict failure conditions. In space, the cosmological models cannot just hunt for random anomalies after the fact. They must predict a specific, mathematically distinct, and parameterized departure in the cosmic power spectrum. In the laboratory, microtubule quantum coherence must survive rigorous classical controls. Those witnesses have to map reliably and directly to anesthetic binding, proving a causal link. The current research environment treats cross-disciplinary synthesis as a high-risk gamble. When the evidence for a theory is split between cosmology and cytoskeletal biology, the system is optimized to let the connection remain unsaid. So, do we live in a conscious universe? Not proven. Is it an annoying, highly specific physical question that demands cross-disciplinary experiments? Definitely.